There's the weekly chart. Let's go to the volume chart that I use, of course. Already a dump and pump bottom wick on NASDAQ. Iran said yesterday that last night they were going to show the world something they'd never seen before and change the face of the world and do all this stuff and got everybody all uneasy, and you know what happened? A whole lot of nothing. A whole lot of nothing. Check, check. Y'all hear me? Anyone? A little bit of red candles here, dropping back off. Let me hit the music off right there. There we go. Music is off. I think we're good to go. Red candle 6038 coming on down here. NASDAQ. Oh, did it again. Ah, crap. Stupid freaking trading view. I've tried everything. Reset chart view. I've tried double clicking. I try everything y'all tell me to do. Everything I know how to do. And nothing works. Nothing works. Auto fit data to screen. Yeah. Alright, I'm just going to go to a new chart, so I don't have to worry about that. There we go. Anyway. ES coming on down 60.37. We have the first pivot, 60.34. Below that, it's going to be 60.17. We have liquidity up to 60.45. Let's go take a look at the options data right here. We have 160 in calls sold, 16 million in puts sold. So this is a put and call seller's day so far. Large red engulfing candle across the board, coming on down after a bottom wick and then rolled. 60.34 will give us to overnight low here, but y'all know the deal. Tilt on top step is 62% short, which is interesting. Where are they going to go with this? Be very patient, grasshopper. Be very patient. Audio's good. How's the new stream room? Still not in there. It's been raining every single day, so I can't load up my whole stuff in the back of my truck. I'm trying to wait for a couple of hour period of some dry weather to get this thing over here. Hopefully tomorrow when the market's closed. Do I get a U-Haul? I did for everything else, but for my streaming software, for my streaming all my desk and stuff, I'm just gonna put it in the back of my pickup. But holy crap, man! It's like I feel like I live in Seattle with all this rain. It's one of the wettest springs of all time for our area. It's crazy. I guess it's all that global warming, man. I'm about to start taking a couple of aerosol cans and spraying them out in the atmosphere. Stop this raining. It's crazy. Can we get more methane from cows? Oh, man. Click on another ticker. Let's see. XLP. Let's go back. Nope, still not working. Anyway. A little red here on the 5. We have the 15. And we have this nice little trend lower. I'm sure everyone's already identified the trend down channel here across the board on down, which is just completing the wave. You know, we've got a wave we've been dealing with now for weeks. You know, this wave where everything is kind of just doing the same up in this area. The whole kit and caboodle here is the fact that the volume on the weekly looks distributive. The daily chart is beginning to look distributive. However, we're not quite ready to pull the trigger yet. We need a little bit more because I can't tell you how many times the daily weekly has looked distributive, although quite tight, and then, you know, right after I take a swing put, the thing blasts up 200 points. So I don't see a selling climax yet. That's the reason why I'm not ready to pull the trigger on any kind of downside positions. It's beginning to look like it's distributive, but we're not there yet. It's not there yet. It's kind of like watching a Bob Ross painting. Like, you know, he's painting some trees. It kind of looks like a mountain in the background. Then boom, you got a beach scene. All of a sudden he turns that into a palm tree or something. So you just got to wait. You just got to wait. When I take my PC somewhere, I buckle it in with like, oh, so do I. 100%. Sends them down here, yeah. Same in New York, yeah. What do I think about gold? I love gold, man. I love gold. Yesterday, we had a fantastic trade on gold. That was a textbook VPA chart. Textbook. Here's what we have. We longed this bottom wick candle on gold yesterday due to the high volume, due to the touch of prior levels, and also with the volume here. So it was a fantastic trade. It was the only trade of the day for me, and now we're just kind of pinging back and forth. But look, gold on the short term is still also in this tightly channel, which means we're in a consolidation phase for the next expansion. Every single name, doesn't matter what it is with price action, it goes from contraction to expansion, expansion to contraction, so on and so forth. On the longer term, it's in more of the expansion phase because we broke out. On the short term, we're in a contraction phase, judged by yesterday's doji, just judging by today's potential doji. But we're still absorbing and bottom wicking into the upper supply here, which means that this looks like, to me, absorption. Absorption for 34.80, absorption for even higher. Once we take out this little micro pivot here of 34.22, then I'm going to be looking for 34.70 and above. I'm still long gold. I said it yesterday that the macro chart on gold still looks long biased, the macro chart. I don't see any sign here of downside yet on gold. And then, of course, with the economic conditions that we're facing going into the summer months, that it's very possible. We had baseball-sized hail there yesterday. That's terrible. Little bottom wick on ES. NASDAQ is beginning to bottom wick. Nice little green candles. Right here. Coming up, we've got 60.42 into that major liquidity on Bookmap. We had a large level. Oh, now it's back on. They just put it back on. 1,000 orders is 60.45. 1,000 orders, 60.45. Which, in my opinion, will be a buy-side liquidity. NASDAQ has 22.037. I was looking along the dip there in the morning, but they bounced it too quickly, and they didn't do it at a high confidence area, so no long for me there. It's crazy how many quality setups gold has in overnight pre-market trading. I'm about to pull an all-nighter. Yeah. So gold might be one. I might start doing on my typical overnight micro action. Bring out a little MCG and put on some outside levels. Good idea to do on gold. Yeah. All right, 60.42 here. We do have FOMC today. I am going to stream it, although I don't. We'll play it by ear whether or not I stay on the entire afternoon after we start streaming, because if it's a nothing burger, then I'm not really going to waste too much time on it. Mother Nature has more hits than the Rockies do. Man, Rockers are having a tough season, man. Considering how beautiful that stadium is, and how thin the air is, you'd think you'd be able to crank some homers, but they can't hit. They couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. Started reading Anna Colling's book. So far, so good. Yeah, it's a fantastic book. Highly recommend it. Changed my life. If you grasp the concepts presented in that book, it'll change your life as well. Anybody have any payouts from Take Profit Trader yet? Some of y'all are using the link. By the way, I had a member ask me this. I cannot see who's using that link. So if you're worried about me seeing you reset and stuff like that, I can't see it. All I can see is how many times the link has been used. So, but yeah, I'm just curious if anyone else took a payout from TPT. Use your link yesterday. I had a 750. Nice, Shane. Beautiful, buddy. Keep it up. I want to see your success. Get that money out. Will I stream FOMC? Yes, sir, I will, Brandon. Yes, sir, I will. 60.41.25. We have a whole bunch of liquidity. You see this liquidity, this big cat at 60.45? He's come on and off about 3-4 times. Man, the Israel-Iraq stuff or Iran stuff went way down on my Twitter feed yesterday, over the night. All right. Now I have a reset. I'm at 103.616. Being careful. Beautiful, Sean. Oh, yeah. Had 100K last week. Was 50.91 into the 6K target. Not greedy and blew it. That's all right. Lessons learned, baby. Lessons learned. The market was there to teach you lessons. As long as you're willing. What other news do we have today? Today's Wednesday. Wednesday, June 18th. We have crude oil at 10:30. Little CL trades. And of course FOMC. Yeah. So not other than FOMC, there's not much else. Not much else. Hey, we'll bomb Iran tonight since the market's closed. You're probably right. I'm probably right. It's all a big game, man. And we're not playing. We're just observers. Any update on Hero? Let's take a look. $250 million in puts. No, I'm sorry, in calls sold. 17 million in purchases and puts. So it's heavily skewed to negative delta, but only on the call sold side. So most likely, I would probably guess we're going to have a typical FOMC pre-day, the pre-FOMC day, whereas we kind of just range in a tighter range until the event kicks off. Let's take a look at the trace. What do we have in terms of support resistance on the options chain? Of course, we have the big 60.47. Today we have 60.30 on SPX as the call wall and 5910 for the put wall. Bottom wick. Here comes the 60.45 liquidity. NASDAQ, nice little return back higher. Big old bottom wick on the 15-minute chart for NASDAQ. What's up, Zoids? How you doing? Air defenses is costing $285 million per day. There you go. still holding. Do you have any idea on how to trade on which day? Which days are important for market? Which days are less important? Like, does the market rhyme with the same way as FOMC days? I don't have any days videos like that, although it's definitely going to be coming. But things change. Things are seasonal. The markets have shifted from catalyst to catalyst. CPI. I mean, we used to sign on, hyped up on a little C2, caffeine and rock music for those days, and now CPI is barely even a blip on the radar. So if everything changes, FOMC now used to be 200-point movers. Now it's, I hope we get a 30, 40-point move on it. Yes, it's just the way it is. And then there'll be something else once JPOW starts cutting again and cutting drastically, and the market starts being shaken out. Then FOMC will kind of tune back up. I got smoke trying to play SPX 6000 calls when SPX dropped. I could click sell fast enough and blew right through. Talk about I see what you're saying. Yeah. Top bullish flow. Yep. So that SPY, so that's the difference, Dan. So yes, that is true. It is bearish flow on SPY and SPX, but it's in the form of selling options. So we have a super negative deltas on the options, but they're all calls sold, which means more of a flatter style market. Although I still would not anticipate a huge upside move on this. Still going. Nice. Filling up to the morning open. All right, nice little bottom wick right off of the pivot imbalance from 7 o'clock. And of course, we're coming back up. And yeah. Yesterday's move was nice. We had a triple top rejection. And then, of course, another VPA signal. So we had a high volume spike just as we dumped back over yesterday at about 12:15, 12:30 Eastern time. Dumped back over from 79.80 to 30, so it's about a 40, 50-point move, and then even further in the overnight sesh before we bounced, which wasn't really at a clear bounce point. We had a couple of wicks there from Friday, but yeah, it did bounce back up, of course. A little hanging or inverted candle there, came back up, and then now here we're dealing with all that. We've been at this relative range now since 6:45, but overall, the whole thing is still exactly the same thing we've been doing over and over. You go out to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart has been back and forth. We have this kind of diamond style pattern coming on here, which some people have identified as more of a bearish pattern. But I need the selling climax to kind of get me on the ball on that side there. I like ES to touch 60-60, 100%. Yeah. You think we pin till FOMC? Probably. Roll it down at FOMC. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Of course, today is Bookmap day as well, so we'll be hopping over to Bookmap here in about 40 minutes. Liquidity down to 60.45. We have, they bought back up the calls they sold. They went from 365 million of sold calls, and they just flipped it to 110 million of purchase calls. So that was a 500 million notional flip, and they're still selling puts. Yeah, buddy. 60.55 just came on in a very large way. I already had a win by cutting losses short, not trying to hope it turns into a favor. Beautiful. Hey, managing a loss is a fantastic thing. I got a 601 put on SPY yesterday and sold for 500 profit. Ended up being like 9K in profit that I missed out on. Can't think like that, man. That will never ever go away. You will never ever time a position consistently like that. So forget about it, move on. Just take your money and move on. You made more money than 90% of the world. How about that? Think of it like that. You know how many, 90% plus, I'd say more than that, would give anything to make $500 in a single day. Heck, 90% of the world would love to have fresh water coming out of a tap or click Netflix on. 60/60 is coming up. Think I'm only going to take one trade today. Been trading too much and help a couple weeks. Beautiful. Think it's great. Yeah, buddy. 60.54 coming up here. It's a nice little trend. Still the exact same price action we see every day. Look at this algo on the 1 minute. Just climbing up from 60.39. Everything's higher. So no surprise there. It's been the same thing we've been doing every day. Here's NASDAQ coming up as well. I would look for 2203 would be fantastic. That's the overnight imbalance before a precipitous drop. But this thing is coming along. 60.60. It's another 40 points to 60.60 there. What's NASDAQ looking like? They just pulled that liquidity up into that area. Dan, love it. Man, look at that patternized price action on gold. Just back and forth. You could have longed and shorted at that every time. Back to where they were on Thursday. We have OPEX and Vixpiration this week. I'm seeing a couple of names, including Spot Gamma, calling for a big sell-off next week once all the positions roll off after all this bullishness we've had which could lead to a nice little pop this week. Fed Chair Powell is not a smart guy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. 60.53 here, ES. Nice little green candle. Looking for 60.60. And a touch higher on NASDAQ. We had just a nice little top wick on NASDAQ. They're building back up. Overall, though, man, my theme on what's up, Math? Good morning, buddy. My theme on FOMC is going to be more muted action here. But on the 4-hour, we now have this little bottom wick, 2 in a row, actually. We've got last night, this morning, and then, of course, this morning here during the session. Once we start capturing 60.63 here, we're coming up. On any upside today, I don't expect to see 61.30 today. That would be quite a big move for an FOMC session that is pretty much already priced in. But if I had to guess, most likely what will happen, obviously, 2 p.m., 1400, they're going to come out and post the data, which is going to be no change, as expected. We'll probably have an initial red move, and then he's going to start flapping his lips, all the same exact crap, all the same exact questions, whatever. More questions about Trump, and he's going to say, I can't comment on political nonsense, blah, blah, blah. And then if I had to guess, between today and tomorrow, a little higher. Now remember, tomorrow the market's closed. So we also have to consider what verbiage is going to come from Israel and Iraq today. Is there going to be any more bombing? It looks like that's pretty much settled for now into the end of the week. And then next week, supposedly, we're supposed to get a lot of red. So that's the way I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it for a long bias, maybe buy the dip type of scenario, see a little bit of red, and then buy the dip. Fade the initial move. That's the theme there. But I'll tell you what, this is some terrible price action on the daily. Look at this. There's not right here. Absolute terrible chart. Yeah, I just lost the internet too. Check. Y'all hear me? Check. Y'all got me? Hello. My internet just lost. Got me back? There we go. All right. I just got the internet drop signal, but I think we're back here. What's tomorrow that the market is closed? Juneteenth. Yeah, Juneteenth. Chair Powell is not a smart guy. Oh my gosh, what a world we live in. Here comes the 10 o'clock move. Let's see what we can do. What's up, Sam? Good morning. You're shorting 56 right now on ES. Beautiful. Beautiful 60.50 right here. See what they're going to do with this baby. 139. Coming on down here, 60. We got 983 or so. But I'm definitely not going to chase this red move after that pop up here until I see. We have 22,000 liquidity here. So, yeah. I mean, they're trying to hold this candle up here. We'll see how this thing closes on the 15 and go from there. But I'm certainly not chasing this red candle at all on a day like today. Like I said, for this situation here, I am still considering buying the dip on everything. Look at that. Already bottom wicking. Fan-freaking-tastic. If they can hold that baby, play to 22.03. Beautiful. Look at that. Look at that bottom wick on NASDAQ. Look at that bottom wick on frickin' NASDAQ. Oh, yeah. Come on, give it to me. 22,003. Gah. Man. Love it. Fan-freaking-tastic. Fan-freaking-tastic, man. Never chase the initial breakout after some consolidation. I love it. $22.05. Let's go to 22,000, baby. 22.04, and then after that, you never chase the breakout over initial. Can y'all hear me? Hello? Check. Check, check, check. Y'all lost me, didn't you? Look at this. Right when I take a freaking play, y'all drop off. Stupid Discord. I need something different. Can y'all hear me on YouTube? We lost Discord. Got me on. All right, sweet. Hello, hello. Yeah, Discord sucks. YouTube's fine, though. You're saying they're going after the bottom wick? No. So the red candle that came up at top of the hour on NASDAQ, I never chased those after the first consolidation. In fact, looking to go long. Beautiful. So far, it's working out very well. We're up from 22,000, climbing higher, into 22.04. So you never want to chase the top wick or any kind of move breakout after the initial move, especially at 10 o'clock, especially when they instantly try to bottom wick it. So not to mention today's strategy for me is to still look for bottom wicks. I'm still looking for bottom wicks, still trying to buy the dip instead of short. And then from here, we're breaking out. So we're already up to 22.03. Now you just roll your stop up. See what happens. Hello, hello. Yeah, Discord. So, boom, now they stopped me. All right, so now I'm out. They stopped me on that little top wick there. No gamma levels to use? What's up, Salim? How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Cloud Google is garbage. I don't know what that means. But yes, whatever that means, it is garbage because this is terrible. But it's killing the stream, man. Since these audio issues started to happen, the streams have gotten killed. I went from like 150 people in the Discord to now there's like 70 people on the streams because it's like the Discord doesn't freaking work. It's terrible. It's killing me. Meanwhile, the YouTube stream gets bigger. I'll take it. You never ever want to play the initial move, especially to the red side. Especially to the red side after consolidation. gold doing today? Gold's rocking back over again after multi-touches at 34.14. Where's Gaz at? Gaz been MIA today. Gold's getting rocked, baby. What's up, DB? Hello, all. What's happening? Gold is getting rocked. High volume, too. Can we come down and touch 33.93? Iran is totally defenseless. I don't know, man. I've been seeing Israel getting rocked. $60.55. Bull's still holding on, baby. Just keep patient. No shorting. Only longs. Buy the dip in longs until we get about 22.50, which is roughly into the overnight high. If you want to short something, short the overnight high. Until then, it's buy the dip. Iran can come to the White House. Yeah, right. $22.036 still going. Beautiful, beautiful upside move. All right, I'm going to restart this Discord. All right, let's see what happens here. RTY's flying? Yeah, buddy. We have a couple of top wicks in this area. Can't quite get to 22.060. Remember, we have CL inventories coming up here. 22.029. $22.026. 0.25. ES coming along here. The rest of the market is definitely green. Tesla is the outlier. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out something else, man. It's killing it. This freaking audio stuff is killing me. 60.58, still going. $60.68 right there. Still going up there, green. Can y'all hear me now? I just got my Take Profit Trader demo account. I'm trying to sub to data for TradingView via TradeAvate, and it won't let me. We're able to get the data in through the TradingView TradeAvates. Well, I don't use TradingView to trade, so I don't know if that connects. But if you go into, you have to log into the web browser of TradeAvate and sign up for the data that way. But like I said, I don't know about TradingView. All right, 60.60 still going. 22,043. Like I said, no shorting until you hit the pre-market high at least, if not sooner. So this is the same exact price action we get every single day. The mornings are just grindy up, relentless. Long or get out of the way. Don't chase the downside until it's there, baby. VPA, watch for volume. Which could be coming along here, but we're not there yet. We need another 15 or so points on NASDAQ and another, I don't know, 4 points on ES until you can start to play that kind of crap. We have a volume profile. We have a volume node up top. Here's my 60 looking for a volume top quick. Yeah, buddy. Looking for it. Short when ES touches, SPX touches 6,006. 7. Here we go. Look, this is a quick move. This is how they induce sweeps. This is how they induce sweeps. So long until you see a signal. Do not short until you see a signal. I'm warning y'all. Let daddy help. Help me help you. Help me help you. The tilt is 75% long. 75% long. Oh, man. Coming along, baby. Y'all see this right here? It's that pre-market levels on ES. It's this volume node right here. Nailed it? Nailed what? We ain't dropped yet, homie. Just wait. We ain't dropped yet. We have very, very light options data. Here's another little green to absorb to 2060. And ES still going, 63. New high of the day for NASDAQ. I would love to see one quick big green candle to change my thesis. I've taken one long today. I already got out of it. Don't make me a fool, SPX. No, I think you'll get something out of that. You just got to wait a little bit. Gold's rolling again, baby. Yeah. Intel is set to lay off 20% of its workforce. Ooh. New high of the day, 60.63, still going. Do not short until you see the signs. I'm warning you. I'm warning you. I'm warning all 15 of you in the stream. You jabronis. Oh, man. 60.65 coming up to 62. $60.64, $60.50 on NASDAQ, still going. Wait for the test of 60.65, or ES has already got it. So you're going to have to, like NASDAQ right now is the one driving the horse cart. All of tech is bright green, whereas everything else is kind of meh. Look at that. There's a big floppy. There it is. There it is. This is super helpful. Nice, Mark. You're welcome, buddy. 60.66. This is the area. 60.60 on NASDAQ. Right here. Patience. Trading is a game of patience. You should spend more time doing nothing than actually trading. Look, they've got liquidity here. They can even take this thing to 75, 70. Wait for the top wick. Heck, they could take this thing to 100. Oh yeah, they're holding it up into this area with no top wick yet. They're still holding it into supply, so yeah, buddy. They're still holding it in supply, which means they haven't hit the sell orders yet. It's like a hunting dog seeking out a smell. We need some supply orders. What's it gonna be, homie? What's it gonna be? 5-minute algorithm. The next 5-minute algorithm. Oh, green. Look at that. Out of nowhere, the next 5-minute algorithm. 60.70. See that? The next 5-minute candle hit instantly. Blastaroni. Blastaroni with cheese. The next 5-minute candle. Straight green, baby. Straight green. Nothing but green, baby. Nothing but green. 60, 22,070. Everything is straight up. Here comes the Blastaroni, 2207. Do you think they'll drive this up to pay less to FOMC? No, usually on FOMC days when they do this type of trend, they'll bring it back down right before FOMC. But it's going to take a little bit. I've seen them do this before, but they do give some of it back right into FOMC event to kind of bring things back to neutral. But until then, I mean, this is the same open we've been dealing with now for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Like, it just goes and goes and goes and goes, and they smoke everyone trying to short. That's just the way this market is. It doesn't matter what you throw at this market, it's going to continue to go higher. It's going to continue to go higher. You could throw nuclear war, you could throw recession, you could throw anything on it, and it's still going to go higher because people keep trying to short it. Coming to yesterday's consolidation area. Gold. Let's take a look at gold. Yeah, that'd be beautiful. Let's take a look at gold. Oh, man, that thing dumped a Roni. Look, it bounced right off the freaking support area, too. Right into 33.92. Again, Very patternized on gold. Beautiful. So if NASDAQ can close a top wick after that type of candle that just kind of like forms out of nowhere and blasts, that'll be your signal to maybe take a short only. But it's got to close. If they fill it back higher, then sorry, we're going to 22,100. But you've got to be able to close a top wick on the 5-minute or longer to even consider a downside position, because they are, look at this, they're already filling it back up. So ES has already taken out high of the day. They're probably going to yesterday's. NASDAQ just blasted a new candle really quickly, and they're starting to top wick it, but it's got to close. It's got to close. Not to mention, we haven't had a volume spike yet into supply. We have had no volume spike as we blasted into this 22, was it 808? So if they manage to close this candle higher, this thing is going up, and we'll probably fill the 100. Just wait for volume. Wait for volume. $58.60. Can it close? I fixed the problem, sort of. It won't let me use TradingView on my desktop with TradingView only on my phone. Riddle me that. Kind of annoying because I like viewing stuff on my phone, but execute on my desktop. Interesting. I told Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu to keep going. Oh, great. Yeah, great. $22.06. Zero rejection here. Look at that. They're filling it back higher. 0.7. They're going to take it higher, man. I'm telling you. If they close this, they're going to go. I know what some of your jabronis are doing. I know what some of you jabronis are doing. I know you because I've got your DMs. I'm warning you. Retail loves to short these relentless grind up days. If you want to short, you need a volume spike, which technically we did just get a volume spike in the 1 minute. But we have to have the second phase, which is a close, and then, of course, the third criteria, which is a close below the prior candle. You've got one criteria that's beginning to form, which is slightly higher volume. But now you need a top wick, and then you need a lower close. I want to buy 600 puts. What time frame do you like to get confirmations? I like to initiate my confirmation on the 5 and then really finalize the confirmation on the 15. Nothing but green on the 5-minute chart. Going and going and going. Look at this. Squeezing everything. And then just when they stop you out, your last short, that's when they roll it back over. When the people stop shorting, that's when they roll it over. Still going, baby. Still going. Nothing but green, baby. Nothing but green. Keep it going. Keep it going. I'm long for a change. Nice liquidity, Lubu. Love it. Just being patient. Waiting for the volume. Too much too fast. Wait for the short. If you want a short, I have no problem with that. In fact, this will come back down. Guaranteed. Before FOMC, this will come back down. But you have to wait for the volume. 3 criteria. What's the 3 criteria? There you go. I'm going to make a video on the 3 criteria. I just have to remember to post it to my YouTube and not my OnlyFans. Can't mix those up. My conchos. Still going, baby. 60.69, 22.069. ES still straight up. Nothing but green, baby. Nothing but green. 0.70. Once they absorb this, they're going to fly to 100. They're going to fly to 100. Oh, just deleted my indicator. Still going, baby. Here we go. Here we go. I told you. I told you. Going to 100. Make that money. All 12 of you in the stream. Gold long setup was beautiful. Yeah. 0.80. Here comes 100. Man, from 450 people to 12. The fall of Rome, baby. The fall of Rome. So what's next? The news drop or dump this thing? It'll come back down before FOMC. It'll come back down before FOMC. But I don't know when. I see more than 12. Yeah, I know. Making money. Love it. 22075. I still don't buy options. I do vertical spreads, but your system works. There you go. No, do it, man. Do it. Do it ever suits you. Every single candle is higher, higher. See this here? Boom, 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 boom. Until that pattern breaks, you cannot short. You cannot short. This market has proven to us since April that it will steamroll everything that gets in its way, relentlessly, over and over and over again. So you can either play along or you can get out of the way. Higher, higher, higher. Do not short anything. $22.07. There's nothing above 22.1, so that could be the overall target here before any kind of retraction. But yeah, buddy. Maybe the dwindling audience is proof your teaching is successful. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah. 20.08. Still going. Once they take out 8, we're going to 100. After that, I don't know. After that, it's just a process of managing what the price action is doing. Until it breaks this pattern of higher highs, you can't short. It's just too dangerous. Let's see. We do have this little thing here. Yeah, still not there yet, which that would put us right at 100. Where did 70% of your former disc group? I mean, there was no way to keep up with the major flow of 2020, 2021. I mean, everyone was pouring into the investing space back then. Now, people are realizing that trading is harder than just buying calls and holding. That happened in 2020, 2021. Everybody looked like a genius in 21. So, retail, I mean, the stats don't lie. That's why I hate ego trading and ego posting, because stats don't lie. The stats say that you are not as profitable as you say you are. So most people are going to get smoked, and that's exactly what happened. My DMs confirm it, is that this is an incredibly difficult thing to master, because this goes against everything, against who you are as a person, as a human. And yeah, people get smoked, they leave. Just the way it is, man. Just the way it is. That's why I want to build this place on community, not play calling. Because community, you've got places to bounce ideas off one another, to discuss concepts. All right, I have to sign off here and head over to Bookmap. I'll post the links when they're active. Give me a minute or so, and I'll have them live. So I'm out.